9,700 alien warships invaded Earth. Only a handful survived. The first warning came at 5:42, just before sunrise. Commander Ryland Pierce was standing on the balcony of Orbit Sentinel Station 3, finishing a cold cup of tea, when every alarm on the station began screaming at once. The lights along the ceiling turned blood red. Ryland dropped the cup. "Report," he barked as he rushed into the command deck. Chaos filled the room. Officers sprinted between stations. Holographic displays flickered with data. The youngest radar tech, Mia Torres, looked like she could barely breathe. "Commander, you need to see this," she whispered. Ryland moved to the main screen. His heart went still. At the far edge of the solar system, past Neptune's orbit, thousands of unknown objects had appeared. Not approached, not arrived. Appeared, like someone had painted them into reality. "How many targets?" Ryland asked, forcing his voice to remain calm. Mia swallowed hard. 9,432 ships so far, and more forming every minute. The entire deck fell silent. For decades, humanity had searched for life. They expected signals, small probes, peaceful contact. They did not expect this. Ryland opened a channel to Earth Command. "This is Sentinel 3. We have a mass incursion. Unknown fleet. Full planetary alert recommended." Within seconds, every major leader on Earth was staring at the same display. A Titan-sized fleet stretching across space like a moving wall. Some ships were needle-shaped like giant spears. Others were jagged and armored like floating fortresses. All of them faced one direction, toward Earth. "Can we stop them?" asked General Nadia Rowan from Earth's Defense Council. Ryland looked at humanity's battle readiness. 28 defense ships, 9 orbital cannons, 200 fighter drones, against almost 9,500 alien warships. He exhaled slowly. "No, ma'am. Not even close." "Then what do we do?" Ryland stared at the screen. "We hold the line. Even if we lose, we hold." On Mars Relay Station, Dr. Eileen Park monitored long-range scans. She was the first to notice something strange. "Wait, that can't be right," she muttered. She zoomed in on the alien formation. A ship that was present seconds ago was now simply gone. No explosion, no debris, no heat signature, just empty space. Then another ship vanished. Then 3 more. Eileen blinked rapidly. "Sentinel 3, this is Mars Relay. We are observing disappearances within the alien fleet. Repeat, ships are dropping off our sensors." "Say that again, Mars," Ryland responded. "They're disappearing, Commander. I've counted 12 so far." Ryland exchanged a look with his officers. "Destroyed? No, just erased. Like they were never there." The idea sent a cold wave through the command deck. Aboard the alien flagship, an obsidian-black juggernaut named the Dominion Ark, Supreme Strategist Calrix Venter studied a shimmering hologram. His 4 amber eyes narrowed with irritation. "Strategist," his lieutenant rasped, "outer patrol units are failing to respond." "Destroyed. No damage reports. No signals. Their transponders simply ceased to exist." Calrix hissed softly. "Impossible. Nothing in this primitive system could harm our vessels." But his claws tapped anxiously against the console. Ships did not vanish without a trace. Not ships built by the Sovereign Dominion, rulers of 2,000 star systems. Unless something older, something powerful was here. "Continue forward," Calrix ordered. "Earth must be punished for reaching the stars without our approval." Back on Sentinel 3, more alerts flashed. "Commander," Mia shouted. "We've recorded 27 disappearances now." The room froze. Within the alien armada, something unseen was hunting. Not humanity, not a weapon, not anything they could identify. Ryland Pierce stared at the shifting numbers on his screen. Who was destroying the invaders? And why did Earth feel like the center of something much bigger than a simple invasion? As the mystery deepened, a single terrifying question formed in Ryland's mind. Was this unknown force humanity's savior, or its executioner once the aliens were gone? For the next 3 hours, every radar station, telescope, and deep space sensor across the solar system focused on one thing: the vanishing. The alien fleet kept moving inward, crossing Neptune's orbit in a perfect battle formation. But their numbers were shrinking. Slowly at first, then faster. From 9,432 ships to 9,301 to 9,117. And still no signs of combat. Commander Ryland Pierce stood in the Sentinel-3 war room, staring at the tactical display. His jaw was tight. His crew worked silently, afraid to even breathe too loudly. "Commander," Mia Torres whispered, "they're down almost 300 ships. Whatever is doing this, it's picking them off with total precision." Ryland rubbed his forehead. "But why only them? Why not us?" No one had an answer. Far away on the lunar surface, inside the Selene Research Complex, Dr. Eileen Park ran advanced scans through her quantum sensors. Her lab was dark except for the glowing blue monitors. She replayed the alien disappearances frame by frame. There was never an explosion, never a flash of energy, not even a ripple of radiation. It was as if each ship simply stepped out of the universe. "How can this be happening?" Eileen whispered. Then she saw something. A faint distortion. A tiny bending of starlight. Not near the alien fleet, but centered around Earth. She zoomed in. The distortion had a shape. Not a clear one, but enough to give her chills. "Commander Pierce," she said into her calm, "I think we're dealing with a massive field. Something that reaches across millions of kilometers." "What kind of field?" Eileen hesitated. She had no word for it. A space-warping one. Almost like reality is thinner inside it. Ryland blinked. "Reality can't be thinned." "I know," Eileen whispered. "But something is doing it anyway." Aboard the Dominion Ark, panic spread like a disease. Strategist Ulrich Venter slammed his claw against the holographic display as another cluster of battleships vanished. "Find the source," he roared. "What weapon are the humans using?" His lieutenant lowered his head. "Strategist, scanners detect no weapon signatures. No human ships fired. No satellites activated. Nothing." "Then what is destroying us?" Silence. Ulrich's voice dropped to a deadly whisper. "Do not tell me myths. Do not tell me legends. Give me facts." The lieutenant's 4 pupils trembled. "Ships are not being destroyed. They are being removed." "Removed?" Ulrich hissed. "Removed by what?" "We don't know, strategist." Ulrich's chest tightened with fear. He had heard old stories, ancient warnings told to young Dominion soldiers. Stories about forbidden zones, hidden watchers, worlds marked as seed worlds. But those were only fantasies, weren't they? On Earth, the global leaders gathered in the underground Unity command bunker. Screens showed the alien fleet advancing toward Uranus. President Mira Alden paced back and forth, her voice sharp. "Can someone explain what is happening? Are we under attack or under protection?" Ryland's face appeared on the main display. "Ma'am, the aliens continue to vanish. We count over 400 gone now, and we're sure we're not causing it." "No, ma'am. Humanity has nothing capable of this." The room filled with tense murmurs. Then Eileen Park's voice came through the speakers. "I think I can explain," she said. "The disappearances are happening in perfect spherical layers centered around Earth. That means the force is working outward." "So Earth is the center?" President Alden asked. "Yes. Whatever is doing this, it's defending us." The room went completely silent. "Defending us from what?" the French chancellor asked. Eileen's reply was soft. "From the alien fleet." "What is the source of this defense?" President Alden pressed. Eileen shook her head. "Unknown. It's not human. Not alien. Not anything we've seen before. Light years closer to danger, a smaller human fleet stationed near Mars watched the aliens' movements. Among them was Captain Jonah Reyes, commander of the patrol ship Frontier Hawk. His navigator gasped as another huge ship vanished from the alien formation. "It just blinked out, Captain. One moment it was there, the next, gone." Jonah frowned. "Any sign of an attack?" "None, sir. It's like the ship folded into itself." Jonah stared at the sensors. Something was wrong. The disappearances were happening closer together now. Whatever force was out there, it was accelerating. Back on Sentinel-3, alarms suddenly wailed again. Mia shouted, "Commander, the alien fleet has halted. They've completely stopped near Saturn." Ryland leaned over her station. "Stopped? What?" "I think they're afraid," Mia said. The word afraid had never been used to describe an invading armada before. Ryland folded his arms. "Prepare a system-wide broadcast. Everyone needs to know the situation." But before he could speak, a signal appeared. Not from Earth. Not from the Dominion fleet. From something else. A message written in a strange, ancient pattern, repeating across every channel on every frequency. Mia turned pale. "Commander, The signal is coming from the region just beyond Pluto. Ryland's voice dropped. So the mystery finally shows itself. He stared out the viewport at the distant stars. Something old, something hidden, something watching, and it had finally decided to speak. The mysterious signal continued pulsing across every human communication channel, low, rhythmic, and almost mechanical. No one could understand the symbols. No one could locate the exact source. It came from a region of space beyond Pluto, but the pinpoint reading kept sliding, as if the source itself were hidden behind a veil. Inside the Lunar Selene Research Complex, Dr. Eileen Park stared at the repeating message. The waveform was clean. Too clean. Not natural. Not noise. It was a coded announcement. Ryland Pierce's voice came through her terminal. Tell me you can decode it. Eileen worked quickly, filtering the signal through every translation database humanity had. Nothing matched. Not alien languages, not ancient human dialects, not mathematical languages. But there was a pattern. It's layered, she muttered. Like a message written inside another message. She slowed the audio playback. Beneath the alien tones, something new emerged. A second voice. A whisper. This one spoke in perfect English. Eileen froze. Oh my God. On Earth, the Unity Command bunker received the updated transmission. The filtered voice echoed across the room. Calm, emotionless, ancient. Protection protocol activated. Threat level, critical. Human development status, emergent. Do not interfere. The words repeated twice. Ryland Pierce, on the big screen, stared silently as the message played again. President Mira Alden whispered, "It's speaking English, why?" Dr. Eileen Park answered through the global feed. "Because it wants us to understand. This isn't a threat. It's a warning." One of the generals stepped forward. A warning against who? The aliens. Eileen shook her head. It's more than that. This message feels old. Like it's been waiting millions of years to be triggered. Murmurs filled the room. Ryland finally spoke. "Doctor, do you know what this thing is?" "I have a theory," Eileen said slowly. "But you won't like it." Far across the void, aboard the Dominion Ark, strategist Calrix Vinter listened to the same signal, translated into Dominion Standard. His four amber eyes widened in horror. One of his officers whispered, "Strategist," it spoke of protection, of designated species. Calrix growled, "Those are myths. Tales told to scare undisciplined species." But his lieutenant stepped closer. What if they were not myths? What if Earth is marked? The strategist turned sharply. If Earth is under protection from ancient constructs, then we have violated forbidden territory. He stared at the decaying fleet outside. Ship after ship still vanished. Not from human weapons. Not from sabotage. From something older. Calrix whispered to himself. We were never meant to be here. Meanwhile, Captain Jonah Reyes of the Frontier Hawk monitored the alien fleet from his ship near Mars. He saw the chaos spreading through the Dominion ranks. "They're breaking formation," Jonah said. "They're scared." His navigator nodded. "Sir, do you think they know what's attacking them?" Jonah looked out at the distant, shimmering fleet. The disappearances were accelerating, whole wings gone in minutes now. "I think they know exactly what's attacking them," Jonah whispered. "And that's why they're terrified." Back on Sentinel-3, Mia Torres tracked the alien numbers on her holographic display. "Commander, the aliens are down to 8,700 ships." "They were at 9,400 this morning," Ryland said softly. "That means 700 ships have vanished in one day." Ryland exhaled loudly. "Whatever is out there, it's not slowing down." He turned to Eileen. "You said you had a theory. I need to hear it." Eileen hesitated, then stepped forward. "When I analyzed the signal, I found traces of temporal decay, aging patterns. This signal originated millions, maybe billions of years ago. It's automated, triggered when humanity reached space travel." President Alden frowned. "Triggered how?" "When our satellites crossed the outer belt," Eileen said. "We woke it." Ryland shook his head. "Woke what?" Eileen looked terrified, even saying the words. "A guardian." The room froze. "A what?" President Alden asked. "A guardian structure," Eileen repeated. "An artificial construct built by an unknown civilization, designed to protect young species until they can defend themselves." Ryland stared at her. "But why would something like that exist?" "Because the universe is dangerous," Eileen said. "And someone long before us wanted to give younger civilizations a chance." Just then, Mia Torres gasped. "Commander." The alien fleet has started transmitting. Rylan turned. Open the channel. A message appeared in jagged alien script. Then the translation engine converted it into English. Human forces. We request communication. Your system is forbidden territory. We must speak. Immediately, Rylan exchanged a stunned look with Eileen. The invaders want to talk? Before he could respond, another alert sounded. Mia's hands trembled above her console. Commander, I'm detecting a new energy surge. Where? Rylan asked. Mia swallowed. Near the Kuiper belt. The Guardian, something, is waking up. The holographic display zoomed outward, showing a massive wave of distortion expanding slowly across the solar system. It rippled like a heartbeat. It grew like a rising tide. It felt like a boundary line being drawn. Eileen whispered the words that every human feared but needed to hear. Whatever built this Guardian, it's not coming. Her eyes widened. It's already here. The energy surge from the Kuiper belt didn't fade. It grew. It pulsed outward through space like slow thunder. Every sensor on every human station went wild. Screens flickered. Data streams spiked. Even the atmosphere around Earth felt unsettled. On Sentinel-3, Mia Torres grabbed the side of her console. Commander, the distortion field is expanding fast. It's forming a sphere around the solar system. Rylan leaned in close. A sphere? How large? Mia swallowed. Large enough to cover Earth, the Moon, Mars, everything inside Jupiter's orbit. Dr. Eileen Park stared at the rising wave with a pale face. It's a boundary. The Guardian is building a wall. Rylan frowned. A defensive wall? No, Eileen whispered. A judgment line. Out near Saturn, the Dominion fleet felt the impact before humans did. One moment their sensors showed scattered vanishings. The next, entire clusters collapsed at once. Strategist Calrix Venter roared as another 60 ships disappeared in less than 10 seconds. His officers yelled over one another, panic flooding the command bridge. What is happening? Shields failing again. We have no readings. Ships are simply gone. Calrix slammed his claws onto the console. Stabilize formation. Do not retreat. But even he heard the fear in his own command. His lieutenant approached. Strategist, the Guardian has awakened. Calrix's lips curled back. That is impossible. Guardians are dead myths. Then the lights in the Dominion arc flickered. For the first time in years of command, Calrix felt genuine terror crawl through his spine. Because the power of the Dominion, mighty conquerors of thousands of worlds, meant absolutely nothing here. Something ancient was watching them. Something capable of erasing warships the size of cities. Something built before their species even existed. Back in the Unity Command bunker on Earth, President Mira Alden faced the world's leaders. We need to decide how we respond to the alien request for communication, she said. General Rowan shook her head. They invaded us. They came to kill us. We gain nothing by negotiating. Eileen stepped forward. Actually, we might gain everything. Rylan Pierce appeared on the main screen. If we talk to them, we might learn what they know about the Guardian. The French Chancellor leaned forward. What if they lie? Rylan's tone was steady. They are terrified. That means they are more likely to tell the truth now than ever. President Alden nodded. Open the channel. The alien transmission filled the bunker. A towering hologram appeared, strategist Calrix Venter himself. His four amber eyes flicked rapidly, unfocused. His silver-black armor was dented, scorched from internal ship stress. He looked defeated. This is strategist Calrix of the Dominion, he said in a rasping voice. Human leaders, we request dialogue. President Alden stepped forward. You invaded our world. Why should we speak with you? Calrix's voice cracked. Because we are dying. Your system contains a forbidden construct. The legends were true. Eileen muttered. So they do know something. Calrix continued. The Guardian has mistaken our arrival as a hostile purge. It is destroying us one unit at a time. If it continues, my species will hold me responsible for the loss of an entire armada. Rylan narrowed his eyes. And why should we help you? Calrix's shoulders slumped. Because your survival is tied to ours. If the Guardian judges us as invaders, it may judge you as contaminated by association. The bunker fell silent. Eileen stiffened. Is that true? Calrix looked directly into the camera. Yes. Guardian protocols are absolute. On Sentinel-3, an alarm cut through the moment. Mia yelled, Commander. The energy field just shifted again. Rylan ran to her console. What changed? The sphere, it's tightening. Eileen froze. Tightening. You mean it's shrinking? Mia nodded frantically. It's moving inward, from Jupiter's orbit, toward Earth. Rylan's heart hammered. At what speed? Fast, sir. Too fast. They all knew what that meant. The Guardian wasn't building a protective wall. It was building a containment cage. Out near Mars, Captain Jonah Reyes of the Frontier Hawk watched something terrifying. A giant Dominion dreadnought, 3 miles long, began to blur. Its outline rippled, folding in on itself like soft metal. No, 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 Jonah whispered. His navigator shouted. It's collapsing. The hull is bending. In just 3 seconds, the dreadnought crumpled into a single point, then vanished. No explosion, no debris, just absence. Jonah felt chills run through him. This is not war, he whispered. This is extermination. Back in the bunker, Kalrix spoke again. Humans, listen carefully. We believed Earth was unprotected, but this system was marked millions of years ago. A guardian was placed here by an ancient race. Only one rule exists. No advanced civilization may interfere with a developing one. President Alden frowned. We didn't ask for their protection. It does not matter, Kalrix growled. The Guardians do not ask permission. They enforce. Eileen's voice shook. Enforce what? Balance. The tension snapped when Mia Torres shouted over the comms. Commander Pierce, the Guardian field is now approaching the asteroid belt. Gasps echoed across Sentinel-3. Rylan whispered, if it reaches Mars, everything between Mars and Earth will be erased. Eileen's eyes widened. Commander, we need to understand the Guardian's intent. If we misread it. Rylan cut her off, eyes fixed on the shrinking sphere. No, we have only one choice now. Eileen swallowed. And what is that? Rylan whispered. We go to the edge of the system and meet the Guardian ourselves. Commander Rylan Pierce didn't waste a second. Prep the long-range scouts, he ordered. We're going to the Kuiper edge. Mia's eyes widened. Sir, that's suicide. The Guardian field is crushing anything that gets too close. Rylan nodded. That's why we're not sending a warship. He tapped his wrist device. We're sending Aurora Squad. Fastest light skimmer team we have. Aboard the light skimmer Aurora, the volunteer crew. Captain Liao Morgan, one of Earth's top test pilots, met Rylan in the launch bay. You want me to fly into a cosmic blender? She said, eyebrow raised. Rylan managed a thin smile. You always said you wanted to see something no one has ever seen. Yeah, Liao replied, but not be the last thing anyone ever sees. Still, she understood. If they didn't investigate the Guardian, humanity might be wiped out without ever understanding why. She strapped into the cockpit of the sleek, needle-shaped craft. 5 crew members joined her. Navigator Chan, Engineer Brielle, Data Tech Ando, Medic Leska, and Drone Specialist Rafi. Leah eased the throttle. Aurora online. Engines stable. Rylan's voice echoed over comms. Your orders are simple. Get close enough to observe the field. Look for the source. And, above all else, stay alive. Leah exhaled. No promises. The Aurora shot forward, leaving Sentinel-3 behind like a fading memory. Meanwhile, the Dominion faces oblivion. Out near Saturn, the Dominion fleet was collapsing. Strategist Kalrix Venter watched helplessly as 200 more ships vanished in a single minute. His lieutenant clutched a console with trembling hands. Strategist, half the 7th wing is gone. Kalrix slammed a fist down. Hold formation. It won't matter, the lieutenant shouted. We are prey to something we cannot see. For the first time in his career, Kalrix felt genuine despair. The Dominion's power, their might, their pride, none of it mattered here. He opened a private channel to Earth. Human leaders, we beg you, if you can communicate with the Guardian, do so. We cannot survive much longer. Rylan Pierce saw the message on his screen, but he ignored it for now. Humanity could barely protect itself. Inside the Guardian field, the approach. Captain Liao Morgan reached the outer rim of the distortion zone. Engines holding, Brielle reported. Gravity fluctuations mild, but rising. Chan zoomed the visual feed. Captain, space looks wrong. Liao saw it, stars stretching, bending, curving unnaturally. The void shimmered like water under moonlight. Rafi deployed a probe. Drone away. The tiny drone zipped ahead and instantly blinked out of existence. Ando froze. It's gone. No reflection. No telemetry. as if it never existed. Leah's throat tightened. All right, nobody touch anything. As the Aurora approached the shifting wall of distortion, the hull vibrated like something massive stood on the other side. Engineer Brielle whispered, "Captain, the Guardian isn't a weapon." Leah glanced at her. Then what is it? A border. A limit. A line we weren't meant to cross. Back on Earth, Dr. Eileen Park breaks through. In Selene Lab, Eileen replayed the Guardian's message again and again. But she noticed something no one else had. A fragment hidden between two pulses. A tiny line of English text too soft to hear. She isolated it, amplified it, and played it through the room's speakers. A cold mechanical voice whispered, "Humanity identified. Interference detected. Correction required." Eileen's blood ran cold. "This isn't only protecting us," she breathed. "It's judging us." The room fell silent. Aboard Aurora, first contact. The distortion wall suddenly shifted, opening like a massive eye. Chan gasped. "Captain, something's forming." A shape materialized, slow, massive, and terrifying. A circular construct the size of a moon, made of pulsing dark metal. Symbols rippled across its surface like living script. Rafi whispered, That's not a ship." Brielle nodded. "Not even a machine. This feels alive." And then, a beam of blue-gold light shot outward, passing through the Aurora without harming it. Every screen lit up. Ando stared at the readings. It scanned us. It scanned everything. Our DNA, our engines, our language. Leah swallowed hard. Does it know us now? A deeper light ignited across the construct's surface. And then the voice spoke again. Not in English, not in alien language, but in something older. The mission log translated. "Human entity identified. You are not ready. Do not advance. Do not interfere. Do not seek US." Chan whispered, "It's warning us." But the message wasn't finished. The deep voice shifted tone, almost sorrowful. "Those who breach the seed line will be removed." The crew stared at one another. Rafi whispered, "Seed line? What does that mean?" Leah didn't answer. She couldn't. Her hands trembled on the controls. The Guardian wasn't just protecting Earth. It was controlling humanity's future. Then everything changed. The Guardian construct, still silent, still half-hidden in distortion, projected an image into the Aurora's cabin. A hologram of Earth. And around the planet, thousands of flickering lights. Future cities. Future ships. Future colonies. A future humanity had not created yet. Brielle whispered like she had forgotten how to breathe. "It's showing us what we could become." Then the image changed. The future cities dimmed. The ships vanished. The stars turned dark. Another message appeared. "This future is conditional." Leah closed her eyes. The Guardian wasn't just protecting humanity. It was testing humanity. For 20 long seconds, no one inside the Aurora spoke. The Guardian's projected images, two futures, one bright, one dead, hung in the air like judgment. Captain Leah Morgan felt the weight of those silent visions pressing against her chest. Her crew watched the glowing symbols shiver across the construct's surface. Then the distortion wall pulsed again. Chan's console began to scream with warnings. "Captain, gravity spike incoming." Leah gripped the controls. "Hold on." A sudden wave of force slammed into the Aurora. The ship shook violently, every bolt groaning. Lights flickered. Brielle shouted over the alarms. "It's pulling us toward the construct." Leah fought to keep control. No. We stay in our lane. Activate thrusters." The engines roared. The ship barely moved. The Guardian had locked onto them. On Sentinel-3, panic. Mia Torres watched the tracking screen in horror. "Commander, Aurora is being dragged into the distortion zone." Ryland Pierce clenched his jaw. "Try contacting them again." Mia slammed controls. Nothing. Only static. Dr. Eileen Park appeared on the main screen from her lab on the moon, eyes wide with fear. "If the Guardian pulls them inside, they might not come back." "Commander, it's testing them." "Testing us," Ryland whispered. "And if we fail the test?" Eileen didn't answer. Because everyone already knew. Humanity would share the fate of the Dominion fleet. Back in the distortion zone, the test begins. Inside the Aurora, the holographic projection vanished, replaced by a new message. One that pulsed in sharp, bright symbols. The ship's translation system struggled, but eventually displayed the text. "Choose." Ando froze. "Choose what? What does that mean?" The ship groaned again as gravitational forces twisted around them. Brielle wiped sweat from her forehead. It wants a decision. But what decision? Suddenly, the construct projected two symbols. One blazing with white light. One dim and dark. Chan stared at them. These matched the futures it showed us. Lia swallowed. It's giving us a branch. A path. Rafi shook his head. No, this is a trap. If we choose wrong. Lia cut him off. We came here to understand the Guardian. We don't get to back out now. She stepped closer to the display. The symbols shifted again. Progress with freedom. Stagnation with protection. Brielle whispered, horrified. It wants us to choose between independence and safety. The meaning hit the crew at the same moment. Humanity could grow strong, but lose the Guardian's shield. Or stay safe forever, but never become more than a protected child species. Chan whispered, what do we do? Lia looked at her crew. She looked at the trembling hull around them. She looked at the construct, the ancient, watching giant. Then she made her choice. Meanwhile, the Dominion's final collapse. Out near Saturn, strategist Calrix Venter watched his fleet crumble. Ship by ship, the Dominion armada faded from existence. Entire formations winked out like candles in a storm. Strategist, his lieutenant whispered, we have less than 800 ships left. Calrix lowered his head. He had spent his entire life serving power, serving conquest, serving a doctrine that shaped the galaxy through fear. Now that doctrine meant nothing. He sent a final message to Earth. We surrender. We will comply. If you survive the Guardian, save who you can. His voice cracked for the first time. Inside Aurora, the choice is made. Lia reached forward, placing her palm on the illuminated symbol representing progress with freedom. Immediately, the Guardian reacted. The construct pulsed. The distortion surged. The entire ship was engulfed in blue fire. Chan screamed. Ando grabbed the wall. Brielle's hair lifted as gravity turned sideways. Hold on, Lia yelled. A beam of white energy shot from the Guardian, passing through the Aurora, through its engines, its hull, its systems. Through them. Then, stillness. The distortion wave faded. The bending stars straightened. The hull stopped shaking. Rafi blinked. Captain, did we survive? The Guardian display shimmered again, revealing new text. The translation system struggled, then revealed the message. Choice accepted. Protection reduced. Potential expanded. You will grow. You will fight. You will earn your place. The crew stared at each other. Ando whispered, Captain, did we just tell a cosmic supermachine to stop babysitting us? Lia let out a slow, shaking breath. Yes, she whispered. Yes, we did. On Earth, the Guardian reacts. On Sentinel-3, Mia gasped. Commander, the Guardian field, it's reversing. Rylan rushed to her station. The sphere that had been shrinking around the solar system suddenly expanded, then faded, then vanished entirely. We're free, Rylan breathed. Whatever they did, the Guardian accepted. Eileen Park appeared on screen. Tears glimmered in her eyes. It means we passed the test. Humanity is no longer limited. But we're no longer fully protected either. Rylan leaned back, realization washing over him. We chose our path. And the galaxy, Eileen murmured, just felt that decision. The Dominion fleet reacts. Near Saturn, strategist Calrix Venter saw something shocking. The vanishing stopped. His remaining ships, less than 750, were still there. His lieutenant whispered, Strategist, the purge halted. Calrix stared at the distant Guardian's fading distortion. The humans made their choice, he murmured. And the Guardian honored it. The strategist lowered his head. Humanity has chosen a path of struggle. They chose to grow. And now, the galaxy will tremble. Back aboard Aurora, the final message from the Guardian appeared. A message meant for humanity alone. The path is open. A new age begins. Prepare yourselves. The projection faded. The distortion collapsed. Space became still. Chan whispered, Captain, what does that mean? Lia looked out at the stars, no longer distorted, no longer hiding their secrets. It means the Guardian won't stop the next threat, she said quietly. It means the galaxy is coming. The Aurora drifted in silence. The Guardian construct dimmed, its pulsing lights slowing to a calm, ancient heartbeat. The distortion waves were gone. Space felt normal again, open, wide, full of danger and possibility. Captain Lia Morgan finally relaxed her grip on the controls. Status? She asked softly. Brielle checked the panels. Engines stable. Hull intact. No more gravitational spikes. Chan exhaled in disbelief. We survived a decision made by something older than life itself. Leon nodded slowly. No, we didn't just survive. She looked at the fading silhouette of the Guardian. We were recognized. On Earth, the shift begins. Back at the Unity Command bunker, alarms stopped. Screens normalized. Officers who had been prepared to die a few minutes ago stared in stunned silence. Commander Ryland Pierce spoke first. Mia, confirm. The Guardian field is completely gone. Mia checked 3 different readings. Yes, sir. No distortion. No sphere. The sky is ours again. Dr. Eileen Park stepped closer to the central display. Her hands trembled, not from fear, but awe. The Guardian reduced its protection, she whispered. It didn't leave us. It simply stepped back. General Rowan frowned. So what now? We're just open to all threats. Eileen shook her head. No. Now we're open to our destiny. President Mira Alden stood quietly, absorbing everything. The invasion, the vanishings, the Guardian, the choice. We need to prepare, she said finally. Not for an invasion, but for a future. Rylan nodded. A future where we stand on our own. The Dominion fleet, a surrender of consequence. Near Saturn, the surviving Dominion ships powered down weapons, engines, and shields. Strategist Calrix Venter stared out the viewport at the stars that had once meant domination and empire. They looked different now. Distant, quiet, and full of judgment. His lieutenant approached. Strategist, the humans request formal surrender. Calrix closed his eyes. They spared us. The Guardian spared us. We no longer have the right to refuse. He opened the comm channel. This is Strategist Calrix. The Dominion accepts all terms. We surrender our forces and request safe passage for unarmed retreat. Ryland Pierce responded immediately. Surrender accepted. Your ships will be secured and your crews will be treated according to interstellar conventions. Ours, not yours. Calrix's lips curled in something like respect. You humans are not what we expected. Ryland nodded. Neither was your Guardian. Aboard the Aurora, the final message. The Guardian flickered one last time. A faint pulse of light swept across the Aurora, touching every surface, every circuit, every crew member. Leah's console lit up. A message, Ando whispered. The last one. Everyone leaned in as the translated text appeared. We are watching no longer. You will grow by your hand. You will fight by your will. The galaxy moves. Be ready. The words remained glowing for a moment, then faded forever. Leon Morgan sat back. All right, she whispered. Let's go home. Return to Earth. The Aurora approached Earth under the watch of millions. When Leah and her crew stepped out onto Sentinel-3's landing deck, cheers erupted. Officers rushed to embrace them. Ryland saluted sharply. You brought us clarity, he said. Leah shook her head. We brought you warnings. Eileen Park approached her, eyes shining with gratitude and fear. What did it show you? Leah hesitated. The truth. The Guardian wasn't protecting us because we were special. She turned toward the large window facing the stars. It protected us because we were young. Eileen nodded. And now we're growing up. 6 months later, a changed galaxy. Earth changed faster than anyone expected. 1. The United Earth Defense Force was created. 1 command. 1 authority. 1 purpose. Defend humanity's new place in the galaxy. 2. A galactic research division formed under Eileen Park, studying distortion physics, Guardian technology, and ancient symbols. 3. A new alliance was born. Species once afraid of the Dominion now reached out. Some had Guardians. Some didn't. All were eager to unite with Earth. 4. Humanity stepped beyond its old limits. New ships. New colonies. New technologies inspired by what the Guardian revealed. And one more thing. 5. The Dominion fractured. Many sought peace, guided by strategist Calrix himself. ***. The galaxy was shifting, and humanity wasn't hiding anymore. 1 year later, a signal in the darkness. Commander Ryland Pierce stood on Earth's newest deep space station, Horizon Spire. It was night. Stars glimmered beyond the glass. Eileen Park entered quietly. You should see this, she said, handing him a datapad. A new message. Not from the Guardian. Not from the Dominion. Not from humanity. A new language. Strange symbols. Unknown architecture. Rylan frowned. Who sent it? Eileen looked out the window. A species we've never met. They say they saw our battle. They saw the Guardian. They want to talk. Rylan allowed himself a thin smile. So it begins. Eileen nodded. Yes, she whispered. Humanity is no longer the hunted. We're becoming the leaders. Earth's new mission. In the command center of Horizon Spire, a new directive appeared on every screen. Explore. Protect. Unite. 3 simple words. But they were enough to define an era. Leah Morgan, now leading the first interstellar exploration fleet, sent a message from her ship. Commander Pierce, engines are ready. Where to first? Rylan stared at the stars, remembering the Guardian's final words. Be ready. He smiled. Everywhere. He opened the channel. All ships, begin the new age. Engines ignited. Ships soared. The stars welcomed them.